Hello everyone, I'm back for another build. Today's build, I don't know. We're going to look at some cases here real quick. Let's try to pick a case, maybe we've got an ATX mid-tower that we're looking for, or a mini ITX. Just those two. Sort them by the lowest price on Newegg. $23.97 plus $6.99 shipping. I guess $30 will get you a case on Newegg. Maybe they're cheaper if you look at a micro ATX. $25. Money's tight these days, right, people? Or is it? But however it is for you, there's a cheaper alternative, and that's this case. This is actually no particular brand. This is just one that popped up on the screen. You'll find these on eBay, Newegg, Amazon. 17. What did that say? $17.99, free shipping. $18 for a mining rig that you could build a computer in. Now, here's the instructions for it. Here's what they look like. You can see your mining rig cards go up in there. Let's see. In this picture, it shows what they look like assembled. I actually have a couple of these, and I went out to the garage today, and I pulled them both out. I used to run mining rigs myself. I had several of them. Sold most of my graphics cards off. I got this and that, bits and pieces of them here, all kinds of stuff out in the garage. But I wanted to do something with this. This is pretty much how I had mine configured, except I had 4 fans going on here, like you can see on this side. So you can kind of imagine. And I made a pretty good amount. I actually got into mining early on, and that was before there was a big glut of people wanting video cards, and I had them before people started going, oh boy, there's money here, and word started getting out, people started doing this. So I made a pretty good chunk off mine. But working with them today is kind of a useless endeavor. Anyways, I wanted to do something with them, so I went out to the garage, like I said, and took out my old one, and put an RGB fan in it. Put a fan with a shroud in it. Put a power supply in there. That's a lot quieter. And I thought, well, what can I do with this thing? And I think I have it. So we'll do our first cutscene here, and guess we'll watch this old mining rig of mine transform into something. See you in the next cutscene. Okay, here's the second one from my garage. There's nothing in this one. I just got finished taking out the fans and put all the screws in there. As you can see, it's just a frame. Now, the way I turn this on, and this is the way I'm going to have to keep turning this on, is just a little button that I got off of Amazon. They're cheap. They're only like, a couple bucks. A little power switch button. Or you could steal one off an old computer or something if you need to. But that's what I'm going to use for this one. And you can see it's tie strapped down in there. I got kind of a better solution for that. But for now, I need to take this entire frame here and unscrew all the sides so I can get down to the bare frame. And then I need to take my little thing that allows me to put a screwdriver onto this. And I need to unscrew all these motherboard standoffs. So I'll do that, and then we'll get to the next cutscene, and hopefully I can get Sean and Kayla out here to give me a hand with this. See you in a minute. Okay, what I got here next is some vinyl wrap. And what I'm going to do in this little crafting project that we got going on here is I'm going to cut it to size, basically the same size all the way around, and fit it to this base right here. Now I might need to scuff this up to get it to adhere a little bit better. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to scuff this up, and then I'm going to clean it up, and then wipe it down with some alcohol, get it all cleared up. That way this will hold a little bit better, and then hopefully I can do that by myself. If not, I'll get the kids to help, but see you in the next cutscene. Okay, the first phase of this mining rig project is completed, and what I've done is on the base of this mining rig, I've put some vinyl wrap. The stuff I use is blue that changes to purple. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick that up, but it absolutely does if you change your angle. Look at that, purple, blue. This is pretty neat stuff. I got it in a matte finish. This is, stuff that people put on their cars or whatever. But for this little project, it worked out just perfect. It doesn't stick as well as I would have liked to have seen it stick on this base. So what I did is along the seams here on the bottom, I used the glue gun, and I glued that extra bit of vinyl wrap onto it down there. And then I also, when I reassembled it, I didn't do any major trimming, just a little bit on the side so that it folds down, and then I screwed my screws into it and let the screws make little holes into there, and it kind of braces it down really good, so that the entire frame now of the rig has got this really cool two-tone color going on that changes color depending on how you're looking at it and from what angle. And I also added a power button. Instead of using a tie strap and strapping it down, what I did is, let's see if we can get this on camera. Lighting's not too good in here. Here it is. I used a glue gun, and I glued down one of the buttons that I have, and just made my own little button for it. That way I can just tap right there, and that's how that's going to power this on. So, all right. We're starting to get something already, huh? All right. Next phase is I'm going to start installing some components here, and I'll be back here in just a sec. So as you can see, I've got some of the components installed. I've got the power supply installed. I've got 3 of the fans installed. More on the way. I got the motherboard installed, and it isn't facing this direction like you would normally see on these cases. It's actually facing this way. If you look on the back, there is absolutely, and you'll have to do a trial and error to figure out where it is. I like to just lay the board down and then figure out where the holes are. But there is absolutely mounting slots to get that in there. And you can actually fit a micro ATX board in there. It'll go down about here. You can come out to about over here somewhere. So you can actually get a pretty good size motherboard in here. I'm using the ITX because this is actually Stan, and we'll talk about Stan here after a bit, but this is an ITX board that I got going on in here. And you can see our power is led up through the side and up to the top. And then here we got some cable extensions. These aren't the ones that are going in with it, but this is just a demonstration. Cable extensions that we can also put in here. So far we've got a motherboard, a power supply, our cables routed over, and some extensions. We got our power button up here. We've got some RGB fans here. And now we got to put in our hard drives and other things. So we'll keep going here, and we'll keep progressing along, and we'll see how this thing's starting to turn up. Bye. Okay, I've done some more to this since the last scene. I added all the hard drives into it. I added a radiator to it. I added some cable extensions here. We'll call them cable mod for name purposes here. But they're actually a generic form. You can see I got my 8-pin for the CPU right there ready to go. I'm using the RaidMax Scorpio power supply, which is a semi-modular power supply. Semi-modular is really the way to go. It's cheaper than going full modular, especially since you're going to use these wires anyways, the power, the 8-pin, and probably the video. And it comes, those aren't modular, but there is an additional port for a second video. And then there's 3 more peripheral ports, SATA ports, on this power supply. Anyways, I've got the radiator running, push-pull, and you'll notice that there's some guards on there on these fans. That's so, nobody is going to poke their fingers if they get too close to it, because, this is an open-air exposed case, so you definitely want to make sure that it's a little protected there. Now, check out how many drives I got in this thing. I got a 3.5 inch right down there in the corner. And then right up here, there's an SSD drive above that. Sorry about that cut right there. I ran out of drive space, had to start over again. Anyways, back to where I left off. We got the SSD right there. Right above that's another SSD. And off to the left of that is a 2.5 inch hard drive. So we've got 4 drives total in here. Again, 3.5 inch and 3 2.5 inch drives. Now you might be able to get another one. Let me grab the flashlight. Up there in that corner. I'm pretty sure you could. Might have to take that fan out. I mean, you'd have to make a couple changes maybe, but you could absolutely modify this case. Something I'm thinking I want to try. Maybe I won't. I don't know, but I guess I have to do some measurements first. Is in this area right here. Now, obviously, you can see you can put a graphics card in here. Right now, I got a extra USB 3.0 plugged into the 16X PCI Express port right now, just for a visualization of how a graphics card can go in here too. And I will be putting one in here as this video progresses. This is just a little test. Checking out space right here. You can see that the graphics card will bolt in right there. And you see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different places to screw in screws, or more or less 5 graphics card, but because this is what it was originally used for. Now, if we take out this hard drive, I'm not sure because I have to do some measuring first, but I think we could probably use these slots here to put one of those cable mod vertical mount racks in it, so that we can take our graphics card, instead of laying it this way, lay it vertically and show it off. So let's back that up. You can imagine this is our graphics card somewhere along in there. That would look pretty sick, huh? Now you notice I'm showing this, this way. It's vertically. You can of course lay this down flat too if you want. But anyways, this is basically Stan. Now, there's not much to Stan, and I'm going to tell you why I called him Stan, first of all. Stan stands for standard, as in standard computer. I'm going to use Stan from now on when I do overviews and reviews of cases. It's easier than trying to come up with a bunch of parts for a build and then putting them all together. And with an ITX board, I can get this into a lot of cases. You know, if it takes an ATX, it, you know, more than likely it's got those 4 screws. It's going to take that ITX too. So that's why I went with an ITX. Let me switch to my HDMI port and we'll take a look at this. I've been letting this thing run for quite a while now, and we're at a cool 24 degrees Celsius with that radiator in there in push-pull. And all we're running in here is just a 200 GE. Yep, just like the cheapest chip you could find. All I'm running for memory is 4 gigs. Like I said, this is kind of a demonstration board. It is not a board for practical use. Is just a demonstration board that I'm going to use when I do other builds, because it has well, a lot of features for one thing. Like this board here has LEDs on the back part of it, and it also has 12 volt RGB. So if I need a want to try running something like on a case that's got 12 volt RGB, I've got that header. Now it doesn't have 3-pin RGB, but we do have some representation of the 3-pin RGB. Back, I guess you can't really see it. Well, let me show it to you. It's ran off this remote, and it's actually courtesy of DIY Fab and their memory RAM cover controllers. Those are actually 3-pin, and they come with this little powered thing. And that's what, there we go. This is plugged into right here, this little red thing that you see. A little red. There we go, it's shaking. That's our RGB controller. And that plugs into the memory, and the memory has a 3-pin addressable RGB. And I just plug that into the control box for the fans, and then the fans are on a PWM hub right here, where this is the one that reads it, and this is what this is a Noctua splitter, and that is connected to these 2 fans right here on the radiator, and the other 2 fans are 3 fans are connected to this hub. So we got 5 fans running from this hub, taking the reading off of the motherboard's CPU right there. Now, I might put a different kind of PWM splitter in here. One that doesn't draw power from the motherboard to run the fans. But for now, I'm just testing this. Got a ways to go still. But that's how I would really ideally want to run it. Now, so anyways, back to the RGB that I was talking about. To show a representation of that, we'll turn this on, and we'll just hit auto. And as you can see, our RAM stick is doing some effects there, and our fans on the sides of it are synchronized with it. So we've got some RGB going in this computer, obviously. So that's pretty neat, huh? Let's see. Like I said, waiting on that video card, but I'd like to try, and like I said, I'm going to do some measurements. One of those cable mod vertical mount brackets. That would actually be pretty damn sweet if you can envision this thing with a vertically mounted graphics card right here. Don't know how that'll work out. Let's see. Well, I'm going to do my cutscene here. Like I said, I'm waiting on some parts, and we'll continue this when I get my other parts, and this will look a little bit different. I got some other tucking to do on this. You can see I let it all up in there, tucked a lot of it right there. And I'm not using tie straps at all. It's all done with grip strips from Menards. They're just, you know, they're you can get these big multi-packs of them and you can use them. That way, if I want to tear this out, if I want to change something in it, it's easy to do. But we'll cut the scene right here, and I'll see you in the next clip. Oh, and real quickly, before I add any more parts, and before I forget, the motherboard I'm using is the Gigabyte GA-AB350N-Gaming Wi-Fi Revision 1. Now, this board does support second generation Ryzen, like the Ryzen 3600, 3700, 3800, etc., etc. That's if you have BIOS revision F40. See right there? Now, the one that shipped with this board was BIOS revision F30. So, this board won't support that second generation right out of the box. You will need a different chip to flash the BIOS. Since mine came with BIOS... let me go to it right here. F30. Next one up is F31. So we can flash that one next, which is what I did. And then F40. Now, on the instructions for F40, it says, if you are using QFlash utility to update the BIOS, make sure you have updated the BIOS to F31 before F40. So we can't jump from F30 to F40 or higher. We have to flash F31 first. So first thing I did was I flashed F31, and that went okay. And then I jumped from F31 to F42D. So you don't need to go one after the other, after the other, after the other. You can actually, once you get to the one that you need, you can go from F31 to F42, and that BIOS got flashed in. Let me switch my monitor here. Back to this. If we look under System, BIOS version is now F42D. So I absolutely can run the latest generation Ryzen chips on this thing now. It's a B350, so it's, you know, maybe got less features than what the B450 would have, or an A320, but it still works just the same. And for the price that it was, I paid $111 for this. I got Wi-Fi on it. I could put a damn good video card in it. I could put the latest generation Ryzen in there. Yeah, it was a good buy. But like I said, the only quirk about it, though, is you got to flash that BIOS first if you want those latest generation Ryzen chips in there. But that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next cutscene. Okay, so I got the rest of the components in that I wanted to put in. So this one is pretty much done. I still have that second tower, or excuse me, mining rig. Might do something with that too, just for something to do. But let's check this out. I got a GeForce GTX 1060 in here right now. I changed my cable extensions to some bright green fluorescent ones. That's so that they're easy to figure out which is what when I put these into other cases. I changed the radiator out to a cheaper what's here up here brand radiator, just because well, like I said, this is all cheap stuff in here. Like you remember I said here a little bit ago. This stuff here, these fans will stay inside the computer. I actually have some of the cheaper Chinese stuff that I'll use when I do the other builds for other computers. Unless it's something that I've sold, then, you know, I'll do whatever that person wants. But for the reviews, I'm going to use the Chinese stuff. RGB on it's a little bit cooler. Now, you'll notice this here vents actually from the, I don't know, what would you call this, the back? There really isn't much to the back. It's just power and fans. And there's my RGB right there. We can see that a little better now. Take a look at the front here. Not much to it here. You can just see the motherboard. I wish I could have got the I/O shield on there. I mean, maybe I can if I play around with it, but I'm not really too concerned about it. But you see we got the video card in there. Now, if you look on the video card, where's my flashlight? 1 second here. You'll notice down in here that there's another, I don't know, what is that? HDMI or DVI or whatever the input was on the card. I'd have to look. So it didn't clear right there. So if that's where you're counting on your input coming from is right on the corner, you might have a little trouble if you're using this unless you get out the Dremel and kind of cut away there. But I was fortunate. This has got, like, you know, 4 outputs here, and there was the HDMI that I needed, and then they got the display port right there. So if I need it for something else, that'll definitely come in handy. Like I said, I might try that cable mod on it to mount this sideways, and that would look pretty cool if it did. And I don't know, it's just maybe it'll work. I'm worried about this touching it right there. It's got to go from here to here, and I got to get my tape measure. Hopefully somebody knows. I'll actually ask Matt over on builds.gg. He works for Cable Mod. Maybe he might know what the exact dimensions are on that rail. I don't want to waste my money and buy it if it's not going to fit. But anyways, so yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Now we can shine the light on it here as I'm going by. And check out that background. That's pretty neat there. I love that. Can we get it to change colors maybe? No. A little bit of purple there. That is so cool. I like that. I'm actually going to use that on the case I got coming up on the next build that I'm going to be doing. I have no real purpose for this one, really. I guess you could probably call this a test rig. But it was something I wanted to do to show you what you can do with a mining rig. I mean, even though I have no real use for it, maybe you might. And, you know, like I said, it's got, you know, 4 hard drives in there that it's holding. And actually, I got them plugged into the power, but I don't have them plugged into any of the SATA ports up on top there. Just because this was more like testing, and there was really no reason to plug that in. Because, well, I'm not going to be using those drives anyways. They're all, well, this one's used, but these are brand new, and this one is used. So the ones with the white label on them are used drives that I had up on the shelf, and then the new SSDs are up there. I'll just leave them up there until I need them, and then I'll unscrew them and put them in another build. But at least I know where to find them. My RGB is actually mounted down here on top of the, I guess you'd call it the top because it's sitting sideways now, on top of the power supply so that it's out of the way. There's lots of room in here. You could easily get like a triple slot graphics card going on in here. No problem at all. So, yeah, that's about it for this build. Is that what we want to call it, a build? Or just some screwing around that I was doing. But that's all for this one. And I'll see you in the next one. And that's coming up. That one I'm going to be modifying so it might take a while. I might do my format a little bit differently when I record it. We'll see. I don't know, but like I said, it's going to utilize some of this. At least I'm planning to some of this vinyl wrap on it because I like that stuff. That's pretty cool. I got some other stuff too. Let me see right here that I could use. This is some digital camo. I had some other camo stuff that I used in that other project. Yeah, so we'll see. I still got to do Thanksgiving dinner. I've got most of the stuff prepped up. Got to do my cooking in the morning, so I'm not going to be too busy screwing around with computers tonight. I've got, real world stuff to do instead of, this garbage. So I'll see you all in the next build. You all have a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.